Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back to our channel. It's a truck. Today we will talk about using fertilizer to your carnivorous plant. So as you can see, we will gonna use this kind of fertilizer, which is called maxi fertilizer. It is very ideal to your carnivorous plant, but it's better if we will gonna study and we will gonna know what's the best application and what's the ideal ratio if you're gonna use it for the first time. As you know, we rarely use chemicals in this growing area. It's been maybe around 1 year already that we are not using any chemicals, even this maxi fertilizer. But today I decided to make a video about fertilizer because someone is asking me, and also I received a big container of maxi from one of my friends that I asked before to buy me on, I think, Amazon. Then it arrived maybe a month ago. So let's talk about fertilizer to carnivorous plant. So when you're using fertilizer, especially to Venus flytrap and other much delicate carnivorous plant like Foliar and let's say Cephalotus, I suggest you use this kind of fertilizer, which is the maxi plant food fertilizer. And better always to use this TDS meter so that you can accurately measure the minerals or the total dissolved solid in the water that you're gonna use. So this fertilizer is very ideal. It's also known as a 16-16-16 fertilizer. It is the ratio of phosphate, potassium, and nitrogen. I really like maxi fertilizer because it is they said it is seaweed based, so I think it's a mild fertilizer for your plants. So this maxi fertilizer, they said it's also good for air plants, orchids, and other ornamental plants. But here in our growing area, we really mainly use it for carnivorous plant because the fertilizer, it's a little bit expensive and you can't get it here in the Philippines unless someone is already imported it and get it from Amazon or other seller online. And another facts and good news for us carnivorous grower, it is also safe for sphagnumos, live sphagnumos, but mind that it should be a little bit lower form, like let's say around 80 ppm and below, so that you can ensure that your live sphagnumos will not burn and algae will not form that easily. And now we measure the water. It is I think it's 17 if I read it right, and we're gonna use it with this batch of plants that we have here in the growing area. Actually, I use it with every carnivorous plant in my greenhouse. So now, first thing first, this is the Refac maxi that I will gonna use just to show you, because I'm planning to put it on my online store on Shopee and also on my Facebook page, so that other big hobbyists that like to avail it or use it and try it, you can get it from our Shopee store. So one vial is, I think it's good for about 10 to 15 liters of rainwater or distilled water. In this case, I use it in 20 liters of rainwater because I want the mix, it will be on the lower TDS, because it's already a year that I'm not using it. I wanted to make it safer for my plants, so I made it, I think let's see, now it's 54, and if you can see the temperature in our growing area, it's 40. Earlier it's 42, and hopefully this afternoon it will be much cooler. That's why I plan to use this fertilizer now, because it rained yesterday until this early morning. Then this noon it's very hot in the growing area. That's why I told myself it's better to use the fertilizer now, so that it will remain in their foliage for longer period of time, because I will water them maybe tomorrow morning. So I mix it well. I put the remaining fertilizer. It's a Smaxi fertilizer. Now it's 77, 78. But if you will mix it well, it will be much higher, because I'm just using a stick. That's why I use my hands to mix it up. And when you do this, you need to wash your hands. Even it's seaweed base, it's better to be safe. So it's now it's 81. I hope you can see it clearly. So I just find out that my TDS meter here is still with plastic. That's why I remove it. If you remember last video, there's a smudge on the screen. Then when I check it this morning, there's still a film of I think it's a protective film for the screen of the TDS meter. That's why I remove it now. Then now I'm spraying it to my BFTs, Venus flytrap. So it is a lower TDS mixture. That's why I'm very comfortable spraying it even in my established sphagnumos propagation together with the Venus flytrap. So if you can notice, I'm spraying it very I'm conservatively spraying it, because I don't want too much mineral buildup on my medium. One tip, or one you need to remember, that if you're using fertilizer regularly, better if you will not put them in a water tray, because if you put them in a water tray and you mist regularly, there will be a mineral buildup. So what I'm doing here is I remove the water tray, and I'm always practicing tap watering. That's why I'm very comfortable that algae will not form in my growing medium. But if I'm doing it with the water tray, just make sure that you clean your water tray regularly. Like for example, every week. Actually, when I'm in my early time on my carnivorous plant propagation, I always clean my water tray. But now, because it's they grow and they propagated fast, I have a lot of Venus flytrap now and other carnivorous plant. I don't have time to clean it for about 3 to 6 months. That's why I decided to remove it completely. I just water them regularly on top, so that the minerals that forms in the medium will be washed out when it rains and when I water, and when I mist regularly. So just if you will research, carnivorous plants especially have the ability to absorb fertilizer, not only on their traps or on their let's say tendrils, with like for example for sanjuice that have a sticky mucus. They absorb much better on that area. But For Nepenthes and Venus flytrap that have these petioles and non-carnivorous leaves, they can also absorb on that area. Like just example, for ordinary non-carnivorous plant, they can absorb nutrients on their roots, but Venus flytrap or other carnivorous plant, they can absorb a fertilizer on their leaves. Just to let you know, because what they're doing, the stomata on the leaves of the carnivorous plant is very sensitive on nutrients. That's why they absorb it, and it helps them a lot. And just to let you know also, the excess fertilizer that you spray that doesn't catches by carnivorous plant, if it is on the soil or on the live sphagnumos, the sphagnumos also will absorb it. So when you are applying fertilizer, better to practice stop watering regularly. So now that we have a lot of fertilizer on our this hand, I think I will use the Maxi regularly now for let's say 2 to 3 weeks. After 2 to 3 weeks, I will use it again. So this is the plants that is ready for release or for sale. So every cultivar that I have, I put it on the each planter, so that when someone buy, it's already established and potted. The only thing that me and my wife will do is pack it properly. And if you haven't seen our packaging technique, you can check it out on the playlist. And even we send it on the very far location in our country, in the Philippines. It will arrive in a good condition, but mind you, when the shipping gets longer, more black leaves will form. But it is very stressful for the new grower, because they don't know that it's normal. But for the old grower like me, it's okay, because I know when the plants is from the long shipping, when you try to plant it or propagate it, it will be much easier to propagate, because the plant is already rested for a long time, and the plant will try to let's say survive. Because before, I ordered maybe around 70,000 worth 70,000 Philippine peso worth of Venus flytrap from one place here in the Philippines. Then it arrived after 14 days. So the plant is shipped Beirut, and when it arrived, most of the rhizome is dead. So maybe there is plants that arrive with only single rhizome or 2 to 3. When I say 2 rhizome, it is with 2 traps on it, and it looks really bad. That maybe because I'm a beginner, I'm really worried, because all my capital on this little business of mine online is on that batch that I bought. Then I asked the person that I bought the plants, and he told me that it's okay. You can acclimate the plants, and the plants will try to survive. And if any plants will die on the process, he told me that he will replace it. So I'm happy, and I'm happy that he gave me those advice. That's why I use it when I ordered plants from far places. I'm not worried anymore, and nervous if it will come after couple of weeks. So now I'm using it on Nepenthes. Earlier you see me misting my Helianthora. So the same process, you just need to peel each feature of Helianthora so that they will benefit also. So for Nepenthes, just water their leaves And also you can use it also on other carnivorous plant, even it is aquatic. So this is my seed grown Nepenthes and some of Sarracenias that survived the pest that got my plants earlier this season. So one thing I learned from taking care of this Nepenthes, because I myself is a beginner when it comes to Nepenthes. But now I learned something, that if you just newly repotted a Nepenthes, if you disturb the root system and you, let's say, remove the majority of their root system, they will not produce good features, but they will produce foliage like a non-carnivorous leaves, but the picture will die. But don't be so stressed too much. After some times, when they regain their better root system, they will be producing much bigger feature, and they will produce more robust leaves, and they will be much bigger and much nice to look at. I hope you learned something from this video, and if you have more suggestion or maybe question, just leave something in the comment so that I can read it and answer it when I have time. So happy weekends to everyone, and God bless. Bye bye.